I would be absolutely shocked if Vivek Ramaswamy didn't turn out to be our vice president. I'm going to tell you why. For a couple of reasons. First of all, no one, not one single candidate, not even Ron DeSantis, has been this engaged in every political way you could name. He's all over everything. You got to give credit where credit is due. A lot of people saying whatever they want about Vivek Ramaswamy. Go ahead and debate him, okay? I dare you. Go ahead and debate Vivek Ramaswamy. Now, after not winning Republican nominee, Vivek continues almost every day posting. He's everywhere. He understands the power of social media. He's been open to conversations that other people would never have done, okay? I see complete transparency when I listen to him talk. I can understand everything that he's saying. And I really believe that Trump wants Vivek as vice president. He's sharp, okay? He's exactly he's going to implement the thing. I believe he's going to do exactly what he says he's going to do. I believe that they're going to fire every federal employee that are not doing their jobs, which is what needs to happen at the top in any successful company. I want you to listen to Vivek on Sean Hannity and how he just keeps nailing it every single time.
Here with reaction, 2024 GOP presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy. Well, it must be nice if you have all of that security with you and you get to walk your little doggy, along the streets of D.C. I guess you don't have to worry about getting the crap beat out of you or getting your car jacked.
It's another example of the liberal elite being insulated from the very problems that they create. But let me just say a word about this border crisis, Sean. The border crisis at our southern border right now is the single greatest challenge that this country has faced since 9/11. And I don't state that lightly. You've got 10 million coming over illegally under Biden's tenure alone. If you look at broader estimates, that's closer to 20 plus million. I think the actual number is going to be well above 20 million illegals in the United States right now. And even if you assume 99% of them have no criminal intentions, that means 1% does. That's 200,000 hardened criminals roaming this country, if not more, as a consequence of those loose border policies. So the relationship between this crime wave and the border crisis, that's not a coincidence. In fact, I think that I fear laying the groundwork for even a future event, God forbid, like 9/11, until we get serious and actually do something about it, both sealing that border and deporting anybody who's in this country illegally. If your first act of entering this country breaks the law, it should be no surprise that many of these people continue to break the law while they're here. And it has to end, and it's going to take a new president to deliver that.
So we learned a lot about you in the Republican primary. Actually, I learned a lot about you personally on the show, is that you like verbal combat. You have no problem mixing it up with people. We now know what the Democratic plan is. They'll demagogue abortion, democracy in peril, January 6th. Republicans are racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, transphobic, and want dirty air and water. Okay. Now the question is, they can't run on their record. What do you tell Donald Trump? What is the best way for not only Donald Trump, but for every Republican that is going to be lied about when they demagogue abortion? What would you advise them to do? How should they answer that?
Yeah, I would say forget about the other side. The other side is full of hypocrisies. If we're naming their hypocrisies, we'd be busy all day. Focus on what we actually stand for. That we stand for the idea that nations have borders, that you get ahead in this country based on merit, not on the color of your skin, that we're actually the party that believes in free speech. That used to be liberals 40 years ago. Well, that's the conservative movement today. That you get to speak your mind openly in this country as long as I get to in return. That we believe in a justice system that doesn't favor conservatives, but doesn't favor people just because they're part of the Democratic Party either. That's what we believe and stand for. And I think part of the reason we didn't have that red wave in 2022, Sean, they tried to blame Trump, they tried to blame a lot of other issues. No, the reason we didn't have it is that we have to define what we stand for. We can't just criticize Biden. That's my advice to Republicans running up ballot and down ballot. Here's our actual alternative vision
let me take
for the
a
country.
little issue with you on
and
this.
We're going to unite the country more than the other guys will.
I agree with everything you said about you've got to run on a platform, and certainly pointing out Biden's failures is not going to be hard. You know, how's the border working out for you? How's defund, dismantle, no bail laws working out for you? How do you like paying $5.50 a gallon for gasoline in California right now? All of these things. Are you happy with America abdicating its role on the world stage as the leader of the free world and abandoning Israel in the war on terror? However, where I might disagree with you is here. I would argue any Republican running for office, if you're being lied about, you better fight back. And you better hit them hard. And you better let those voters know that you're being lied about. And I think Republicans are too timid sometimes to call out a lie when it is a blatant lie. And if they do that, I think they're risking being defined by a corrupt, lying opponent.
So, Sean, I wouldn't say we disagree, but I would say we build on that. As you know from watching me on the campaign trail, I'm not afraid of calling out a lot of the mainstream media to their face for those lies. But that's all I would say is that's not enough. That's the foundation. Yeah, we've had some fun, I would say, on air. That's good. That's what we want. You know what? You can't dish it, you can't take it. But I would say this is the unique part of this election. This is historic, and I just want to say this on a positive note. We only get this once in a century where voters get to choose between two presidents who have both been the president before. That doesn't happen usually. It was Grover Cleveland the last time around. So that's a unique opportunity in this election that voters have at the top of the ticket to say, it's not a challenger to Biden who's offering you hopes and dreams. It's a challenger to Biden who's already done it. Compare 4 years of Trump to 4 years of Biden. That's a once in a century opportunity. And if voters seize that, I think we can have a landslide that unites this country. That's what this country needs. And as Donald Trump has said, and I love it when he says this, success will be our vengeance. That's how we're going to be the party. Biden promised to unite the country. He didn't do it. That's what Republicans are going to do this year. And I think that's how we're going to make our nation greater than it's ever been before so that our best days are still ahead of us. I truly believe that.
And remember this, the one thing they cannot run on is, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Because I can't think of a single policy success of Joe Biden. Vivek, I look forward to our next round of verbal combat. That'll be fun. Appreciate you being with us.
We're at a breaking point where we're going to need strong leaders that are going to be able to pull us out of economical collapse very quickly. Okay. This is going to take a extreme set of business owners that understand the economy like no other. Vivek Ramaswamy, Trump, these guys understand that. Now, business owners look at things totally different than probably most people that have average jobs or work jobs because you have to. You have to study what's going on ahead of time. You got to plan 4 quarters ahead. So this will have, they'll have to come into office and change things very quickly because we're literally this close to economic collapse all the way across. So United States is absolutely failing. All right. This is not a scare tactic, but it's just looking ahead and planning ahead helps you to make a plan to fix things before the fire happens. A plan to put it out before it happens. So that's kind of how we look at it as business owners, and certainly on a larger scale business owner. Certainly a billionaire business owner would be able to do this very quickly, turning things around fast. That's who we need to put into office. Some people that can do that, first of all, right away. That is the first thing. Get everyone situated. We get the cost of everything down so people aren't hurting, so they can kind of pay attention to actually what's going on. When you're working every day, all day, 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week, and still not making enough money, you don't know what's going on in your news cycle or what's going on around the world. You can't be concerned about that because everything costs so much. They would distract you with this, okay? The enemy's got a lot of tactics, man, and this is one of them, certainly. So I think Vivek will be a very good choice for VP. Extraordinary. Is almost like God sending him. I don't know. But I think he and Trump will be able to get this back in order very quickly. If you look at his track record, if you look at the businesses that he's owned, he was able to be very successful and resilient. You have to be a very optimistic person, very thorough person. You got to be very sure about yourself. And these are the qualities that we're looking for in a VP and in a president. We already know what Trump's going to do. We had him for 4 years. Things were definitely ticking off before all this stuff happened. Anyway, so those are my thoughts on Vivek, and I think that that's not going to change. Let me know what you guys think about Vivek Ramaswamy being the vice president in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, this has been Yup, I Said It. Thank you, guys.